got the music again. How you guys doing out there? Oh, it's been a whole week and I've been missing you all. I really promise I have missed everybody. I can see you out there, just like, I see you. I see you in the back. I know you're there. I know you're there. Oh, yeah. Thanks for joining us, Janie and Judy and Joni. Yes, I see you in my magic mirror. There we go. But you're gonna be here because it's the off night, folks. I'm happy you're here also, okay? So remember, we got a great cast of people who are gonna be talking tonight. It's made a really good show tonight, and we got your favorite host and MC, okay? There's the host and Mr. Mark Sweetman.
Hey, I like that, Andy. You did the friendly giant intro. Is that what you were doing there? That was great.
Yeah. They had the mirror. She'd always be able to see the people on the audience. Yeah.
Okay. What was the giraffe's name?
Oh, the giraffes. I can never remember that.
Rusty.
That was it. Yeah.
Rusty was there. And what was?
Frere Jacques had the mirror, didn't she?
No, Susan's saying Frere Jacques had the mirrors, not the friend.
Yeah. It was the lady from the romper room. It was the romper room. Did the mirror thing. But the guy, the giant was always like, look up, look way up, And
that was a friendly guy. Now, if we have here, we're very limited here because it's everybody over the age of 50 that would remember this. So if we have any, and you would have to either be in Canada or Seattle, Detroit, or Buffalo, the border cities that would get the television broadcast to know this. So
that's true. Yeah, I hope our audience will actually be able to understand what we're talking about. It's part of that little operation. I'm gonna be working some great places in the future. I think I'm gonna be working retirement homes, so I'm working on that material right now.
Saying that like it's a bad thing.
I know.
You know what's great about retirement homes? They get your jokes.
Yes, of course.
Your aged references are.
My aged references. I tell you, my James Mason is hot in there. My James Mason's hot. And somebody said, I got my audience peeing. Of course, they were peeing already. I tell you, it's.
Yeah. Have I ever told you my favorite James Mason impression?
No, what was that?
I worked with a guy at the Improv. His name was Greg Travis.
Okay.
And he would say, he says, I only do one thing about James Mason. Here is my James Mason as Moe from the Three Stooges. Okay, now I'm going to try to do Greg doing James Mason, but here he goes. Larry, Curly, I'm going to poke you in the eyes now. Larry, Curly, I'm going to have to poke you in the eyes now.
Nice. Yes, of course.
That was his. It's probably not as good as his, but
very good. It's very good. I think that's good.
It used to crack me up. I saw it at least 8 dozen times. It cracked me up every time I saw it. I would start giggling as soon as he said, "I don't do many impressions." I knew it was coming.
Yes, I don't do many impressions, but James Mason, I can do. Yes, it's pretty good. So that was pretty good. That's not too bad. I think I remember seeing him do that actually.
Oh, okay.
Somebody do that.
Yeah, he went into acting. I don't think he does stand up anymore.
Do you remember Patty Ash?
Patty Ash.
She was an older woman. She started really late. She was mostly around the Ypsilanti area. But
no, it doesn't sound familiar to me.
Okay. She actually she was doing stand up for a little while. Mostly just like an MC or something. She never headlined or anything like that. But she has some lines about being old. It's like, if I want my signal to go the last 25 miles, that's my choice. Stop killing him. And she actually got into the movie as an extra. I think it was it's the one where the guy is like this a single guy, and he's always like being chased by women. And so she actually ended up doing a on TV at the age of 74, showing her breast in this movie. But anyway, I bring her up because she has passed away in the last month or so.
Oh, another one. Yeah, we're that age. It's once a week we know somebody that's passing away from the old biz.
Oh yeah.
How to be remembered by what she showed in the film.
She's always going to be in that movie. She'll always be remembered in that particular role. So But she was a very funny person. I directed her a couple of times in some plays, so she was funny.
Yeah, those that don't watch us regularly, Andy is a director of theater in the Southeast Michigan area. Was an improvisational instructor back in the early days.
Yeah.
You were a co-host with Joey Allison on his show.
Oh yeah, Joey. Yes.
Yeah.
Joey flew planes. I didn't realize she was a pilot, man. That's pretty cool.
He just retired. You know what he's doing now?
What?
He's an instructor in Phoenix.
Oh wow.
Now he teaches new pilots how to fly planes.
Nice. I'm sure he says he does it through the arms expert, probably. It's like,
yes.
Okay.
Very funny. Very funny. Anyway, so we got a special guest on our show today. So I'm gonna turn it over to Susan so she can read her poem, which will act as our
I'm not the special
outline.
guest.
Yeah, she's not the special guest. We have somebody besides Susan.
I'm special.
We all met her. Andy, Susan, and I all saw her last night, and Jason met her last week. Sam will meet her for the first time tonight, but I'll tell you who it is when we introduce her. But here's Susan with this week's poem.
Yeah, don't introduce me.
Take it
Hi.
away. Oop, I'm sorry.
Hi.
No, that's fine. You don't have to cut everyone out. All right, here's your poem for the week. Haiti Prime Minister has stepped down, but the gangs in Haiti are still around. Chuck Schumer called for new elections. Will Israel listen to his directions? Putin won, surprise, surprise. Election was fair. Believe those lies. Airbnb has banned indoor camera use. Did we all not know there was this abuse? Ramadan began. Is there daylight fasting for you? Archaeologists found a statue of Ramses II. Ohio and Kentucky shared a tornado. Iceland evacuated near the volcano. Pence doesn't back his former prez. He doesn't agree with all he says. FAA completed an audit of Boeing production. 66% of airplanes don't have misconstruction. That's your poem.
All right, thank you. Leave that with you. Will use that as an outline for our show, for topics and things.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Any questions, folks? Thank you. That's a very broad show. That's pretty broad.
Yeah, it is. And I've got that guest, so I'm going to say goodbye to Andy.
Okay.
And we're going to bring out our special guest. Well, how special? Just somebody it's somebody other than the five of us, right?
Have her do her.
You've called her a special guest. Bring her on.
Yeah, I will. Okay. Anyway, we saw her last week for the first time at the Unclub on Sunday night over at the Ale House in Ypsilanti, and she wowed us. As Andy said, she's got great impressions, but very funny too. But she spoke to me after the show about how she has this method for evaluating her set. Oh, I should mention, and I'm going to bring her on here. Here's
She's evaluating you all tonight.
Yeah.
See if you can do better than Boeing with 66%. That is a D.
All right, yeah. Anyway, here she is. Here's Cameron Kay. Hi, Cameron.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Cameron.
Thanks for. You want to get a camera?
No.
Okay. Thanks for coming aboard. Appreciate it. Now, you spoke to me about this, and when you said it last week, I was thinking you'd developed an app, and I'm thinking, that's a pretty. Well, you know what? We could hook you up with some people, probably. So I'm thinking maybe we should hook you up with somebody that does that type of thing. We have a lot of talent. Yogi's an engineer. And his IT department, so he's connected, and he works for Ford. So I mean, he's been connected to a lot of people, I think. But then as you explained it yesterday, it sounded like you were using tools that you hadn't developed, but other things. And so I said, just give me a little write up. And when I read the write up today, I'm going to give you my first honest impression. And I like you. I don't mean this as an insult, but my thing was, if you're going to do that, and we've got AI already, what do we need comics for? It sounds like once you build this monster, we won't need comics anymore, and the algorithms can just take over.
It's not for writing jokes, the ideas still have to come. It's just for evaluating how our jokes are. is more so
now. I knew this before I introduced you, but I wanted to have you say it. How long have you been doing comedy? You're gonna love this.
So a month and a week, not too long.
We should make you a regular, just so that we can examine. Sam, who's going to come on later, and as a regular, everybody knows him, and I have been doing this for over 40 years. Andy has been doing it at least 35 years. And you and Jason would be the newbies on the show, but you're even newer than Jason are. Jason's been around. Well, he was with the Young Club when we did our first iteration 11 years ago. So he's been doing it at least that long. He has to run out and get a job every once in a while, though. So he hasn't been consistently going at it. But it's just interesting. I think you said February 1st is when you started.
Yeah.
I love this. So anyway, and Susan's been doing it. How long have you been doing it regular? 2 years?
A year and a half.
Okay, and Susan has, although she's been writing for me for the 42 years we've known each other, she just started doing her own material here about a year and a half ago. So it's kind of neat to get all these different perspectives, but you are so new. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah. So I've been writing for 2 years. I started doing stand-up a month ago, but I've had ideas, and been keeping track of them in a little envelope or on the notes on my phone for 2+ years. So it's easy to, I'm pulling on so many things and years worth of just the funny little things happening and tracking it, And if can I plug what I'm doing?
Yeah. We usually do that at the end, but go ahead. Because I sometimes forget, but go ahead. Yeah.
This Friday, I'm going to be in Ann Arbor at the Bloom Meadworks, hosted by Vivian, the Femme Feedback Show. April 6th, I'm going to be doing the Diva Cup at the Independent in Hamtramck, the comedy club that's hosted by Stephanie Ann. It's going to be polling, a competition, polling one-liners, all 90s themed out of a cup and seeing who could do it. And then I just April 13th being in a neon sign shop in Toledo with the Dave Crumbly show, a new thing that he's putting on.
Okay, cool.
Right, got stuff bookings actually.
Which one of those pay? Any of them pay?
The neon sign shop is going to be my first paid thing ever. Right.
Actually, because I don't think I got paid in my first 3 months, so that's pretty good. It took me a while to get paid. So good job, especially this day and age when so many are not getting paid. It was so funny at the dojo yesterday. Joe was there. Joe the animal was there, and people just viewing us for the first time. We have a showcase Sunday night at the Ale House, and before that, we have what we call a dojo. These were all developed by Chili Chalice before he passed away about 5.5 years ago. And what we do is we basically bring our material and we discuss it with the comics in an open, honest, and everybody needs to not just take things from it, but needs to give to it as well. It's worked out pretty well over the years, except for Joe the animal. He comes all the time. And every week we talk about who's getting gigs, and he's not getting any gigs. He goes, "How come I'm not getting any gigs?" it's just so funny. I said, "You go out and get them." What do you? I guess he's expecting people to come and say, "Oh, my, you are such a comedy genius. Please do our show." I think you do have to go out and do a little more work on your own. But so anyway, so now you tell me about this program that you have. And I'd like to hear you tell it to us. Pitch your program. See if we can find you a developer that can help you put this into an app.
So are we going to be able to share the screen, or am I going to be using the phone? I can either way.
I don't know. I think you're going to have to do it that way because I don't really know how to do this.
That's all right.
You see my little title there, host an unqualified ticket. That is.
Yeah, I didn't realize that's what was going to pop up. I could have put my Instagram or something, and
that is me. I can put it in there for you. What do you want it to say?
It says it is spam like Cam is my Instagram handle.
Spam like Cam. I like it.
Spam like the canned meat. Yeah, spam like Cam.
All right,
so I have a method that as I'm going, I feel like it helps me know what rooms are like and kind of decipher when a certain joke kills in a room and like certain trends in rooms versus other things. This method helps me kind of take out my own opinion out of where the laughs are hurting. or hitting hardest, and just leave it more up to science. It does unfortunately start with writing down your set list, and I know that I'm still so new that a lot of people don't do that anymore. But if you have a set list and that's really all it is, the first thing is just listening to it and tallying how many laughs you're getting. Every single time there's a laugh, you just write a strike, and then obviously you have your whole time of the set. Divide those numbers and you get SBL, or seconds between laughs. And that just kind of breaks it down and will give you a numerical where you're at. I tend to go around 15 seconds for around an 8-minute set, or we talked about that a little bit. Anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes is going to be hopefully 15 seconds. And that doesn't mean that you're actually getting a laugh every 15 seconds. It means that you have a 30-second buildup and then can get 3 laughs like that, or along those lines.
Okay.
I want to aim to lower that number when I'm doing 1-minute shows or 2-minute shows where you just got to do something quick. Obviously, you want to have a laugh on it. And then if you have something longer than 15 minutes, then you're feel free to build it up more, get even closer to 30 seconds just to really be able to get a joke, or something, and get harder laughs. But it also, just kind of depends. The second part of it is in being able to actually evaluate the jokes themselves. I do it with a starring scale, 1 star all the way up to 5 star. And the way that I get my stars is by looking at the visual audio. When I started, I didn't even realize that it was called just the waveform. But if you have a video of yourself, and even you don't even need the video, you can just record yourself on your phone using iMovie, or the app that I have right now is called InShot. And all it is you just need to find something that'll give you one of these at the bottom. And it's just the audio of my video. And if you can see it in waveform, and this one I really like because you're actually able to kind of zoom. Oh my goodness, you're able to zoom in and out on it to make be able to kind of see your whole set or just single parts of your set. But when you're able to see the audio forms visually, you can see where your laughs are hardest, not on your own self or what you think. Because I always want a certain joke to kill, and it's never the one that actually kills the most. You think that the one that's the most intelligent or the one that's the wittiest just kind of falls a little flat, and then the throwaway is the one that always gets it. So it just allows you then to also kind of reevaluate. And then the stars will show when you have the same amount, or when you have the same joke and you're doing it multiple times, and it's one day a 2-star joke, the next day a 5-star joke, then I know that's more about the room and it's more about reading things, if that all makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Now now I wanted to have you explain that. What is your schooling? What degree did you get?
Architecture.
Well, that's why you're a mathematician. That's why you have to have everything graphed and settled and scientific. Now I got to tell you something. We're going to bring out the other comics here. Let me tell you, the oldest guy is Sam. He's been doing it the longest. And you, on that notepad that you showed us, that is more writing in the 2.5 months you've been doing comedy than he's done in his entire career. From 40 years. He'll confirm it when he gets out. In fact, let me bring Sam out here first. Sam, how much writing have you done in your career?
I don't write anything down.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
I have an idea, I bring it on stage and I play with it. And that's been working for me. But I have great admiration for Cameron on 2 levels. Number one, the amount of things she was talking about that completely eluded me, which is not an insult to you, but more me. And the other thing is, architecture is a very tough major. So kudos. That is a very tough. I had fraternity brothers who were architecture majors, several of them, in fact. And most of the time they just went around silently weeping. So my hat's off to you on 2 levels. I'm under the impression, I don't know how old you are, Cameron, but I'm under the impression I've been doing comedy longer than you've been alive, which kind of leads me to being grateful that my stove is electric and not gas. And I wanted to tell you that and Mark, this is for you. I keep having this recurring nightmare that, oh, no, that's redundant, isn't it? No, it's not. I have this recurring nightmare that I'm on stage and I'm finishing, I'm middling, and I'm finishing my set, and the last thing I say is, "Thank you very much. Enjoy Fluffy." And then I walk into traffic.
That's your nightmare?
Yes. I'm opening for Fluffy. Yes, that's my nightmare.
Who's Fluffy?
The big fat Hispanic guy
Gabriel Iglesias.
Yes.
Gabriel Iglesias. Okay, I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about.
When I met him, he goes, "You can call me Fluffy," and I went, "Why?"
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not that intimate with Fluffy, so I don't think I could do
It's
that.
not what I've heard.
Okay, all right.
Oh, by the way, just as a side note, which has nothing to do with anything, did you hear that Bill Maher fired his agent?
Yes, because he wasn't
He
invited. He wasn't
because
invited
he wasn't invited to what's his first
post.
name? I forget his first name. Lord, Lourd. I can't remember his name. This guy Lord was, huh?
Swifty Lazar used to be when he was alive.
No, this guy Lord was married to Debbie Reynolds' daughter.
Carrie Fisher.
She was married to Carrie Fisher, or he was.
He was, yeah.
And
Bill didn't get an invite to his after Oscar
gay as
party.
a French horn, and they have a kid together, Billy Lord.
Oh, okay.
And he wasn't invited. Bill Maher was not invited, and I think Lord is a big deal at CAA, which was Bill Maher's agent.
Hold the phone, Sam. Or I want to get Andy and Jason out here to with Cameron to talk about this program that she's got. And here's Andy back with us again.
Hey, sounds good. When I was watching you talk about the program, I thought this is what the club owners are going to use now for the comics.
To decide how we get paid or how we get booked.
How you get paid? They'll come out. They'll take that little program and go. You didn't get enough jokes per minute. You're not getting paid today. You're not getting any jokes per minute. It's like, but it's actually like a pretty good tool to figure out. What material is working actually. So it's pretty good.
What'd you call it? SBL.
Yeah, so that's just the seconds between laps is just the little ratio. But if I could put it into an app, it would just be an app that you can record yourself. Then you could go back and just almost tally up, everything that I'm talking about. It could be so easily done and coded, I'm sure. And it'd be a
many
tool
years
for
ago,
evil
Joe Bolster.
fast.
Joe Bolster used to measure he's a stand-up from years ago, Cameron. He and very successful. And he would measure his comedy by how many laughs he got per minute.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Same science then, just breaking it down a little different.
Yeah.
Mine was based on how many jokes I got before they went, the fuck is that? that was my yardstick.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I remember Tony Hayes used to do material, but he'd like go for minutes and minutes and minutes without a joke, and then all of a sudden it was a big laugh. He was building to something,
and that sustained him.
There are people, Jerry Corley and Greg. Can't think of his last name now, but they're comedy instructors. They teach courses in it. And they say there's nothing wrong with going more than 15 seconds without a laugh. But the longer the build-up, the more the payoff better be. There better be a good payoff for that long build-up that you.
Well, you know who operates like that is why am I missing names here?
Greg Dean is
No, he was in Best in Show. He played the guy who threatened his son.
Eugene Levy? Miller.
TJ Miller?
See, this is what we do most of the time. We're just trying to remember people's names, okay?
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you can tell me an app that would allow us to know the names like immediately, that would be great.
And Paul Reiser played a guy on Law and Order who killed his wife. He managed a comedy club on Law and Order.
Right.
Every
actor
I've completely lost my way.
Yeah.
It's like 15 years of he killed his wife. That's
it's 20,000 of them at this point.
20,000. That's
418 actually, but
how many blood scenes
there's been? I was like, there's got to be
418.
Wow,
that's it. That's
all.
all.
But that was when it ended after 20 years. Now it's back on for 3 more years.
Right, and that's just Law and Order SVU, not
No, that's just Law and Order.
Miami or
SVU has probably got more.
Oh, right, yeah, we're
SVU's got more. SVU's been on 25 years, so
yeah. Oh yeah.
That's amazing. Larry Miller.
There we go. Oh yeah, Larry Miller. Yeah.
Larry Miller, yeah.
And his whole act, if you've ever seen it, is almost Zen-like because he starts off very, very slowly, and builds and builds, and there's no laughs. And then when the laughs start, it's like an avalanche.
Yeah, Larry.
And a nice guy.
I guess another method that I would like to add is that as you're, once again, it all requires you writing stuff down. So you have to have a set list. But when I've talked to other comics
why would but the thing is, there's so many apps now that will transpose your words into text. Why do you need to write anything down?
That's probably true. And if I were to talk to another comedian about it, they could do that, but that would just give me more work. It was more so even like the way that I write, where there's, my topic and then like the 3 hits that I plan on getting off of that, and just like the 1-word reminders of them, or like the 4-word reminders. Or sometimes I'll literally just write my topic times 5 and then remember the 5 things. So as you're going and tallying as well, you're also able to say, and this one did get me 5 laughs. This one got me 4. This one got me 3. So you can even place it. And if something isn't getting, enough, or you can, just to rework it. It's not necessarily even to drop it. It's a tool to help you build.
I don't know if he operates like this, but I saw this woman's Netflix special, and she almost, and I don't think I don't know what she does, but her set was very much like what you're talking about, Cameron. Taylor Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's very much like that. It's rapid fire, very little time between laughs, but the laughs are there. Boom, boom, boom. And it's not what one would define as high energy. It's energy. I'm splitting hairs here, but it's energetic, and there's a difference. And her set was great.
Yeah, she's been good for a long time.
Yeah,
good,
she's really
she really choreographs out her set too. She choreographs out the physical aspect and everything. It's really fascinating.
Even her asides.
Yeah.
Have something going for them. I mean, she's terrific. I like her more than I like her show.
On the new show, yeah. Her materials are pretty good, but the
new show is like Comics Unleashed by Byron Allen. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
3 comics who are doing jokes that they didn't write.
It's too bad, because anybody who's introduced to Taylor Tomlinson from that show is being cheated, and probably is not going to ever know how great she is as a stand-up.
That's true.
Because
if they just watch that show and don't watch her Netflix specials,
exactly.
Yeah, they are really missing the boat.
So I like the idea of the using that as kind of I'm doing this weight loss thing, HMR, and they have you record your weight and stuff like that, which is kind of like similar to how you do, each way. It gives you that sort of wave to figure out what's going on with it,
Yeah.
And that you can always find the records and keep recording which joke actually works the best.
Are we bringing Jason on?
Yeah, we'll bring Jason.
No, don't bring Jason on. No.
Wow.
He'll take over the show. No.
Wow, how Hollywoodish.
Hold on. Very. As soon as I see Jason's head pop onto the screen here, I've got a dashboard on my screen. Oh, there he is. Okay, here he comes. Here comes the king of the rants, baby.
I warned you.
All right.
Hey,
You have summoned me?
left off the Oscar party A-list.
Oh yeah, Susan just reminded me that we were also left off the Oscar party A-list. So, but we didn't fire our agent.
So far as you know, I was left off.
Yeah.
Hey, Cameron. First off, I just want to say your poise on stage is incredible, and I do mean that. You have incredible poise, and that is a big part of telling. And if you have good poise and bad jokes, you'll do all right. But you're doing good. I mean, your jokes are. I'm not trying to denigrate.
Now wait.
That,
now, how did architecture
saying,
did architecture train you for that stage work, or did you do some stage work while you were going through school?
So the only time, like, when my church did a production, I one year was like a dancer in it, and then the next year went to backstage and was like dressed in the all black, helping moving things around. Like I've never been able. I didn't like to be in public like this. I would never imagine that this is happening, but I don't know.
Well, and if there's,
did you get dancer training?
No, it was like literally church production type of thing. Like it was just
okay. Well, cool.
And
it was actually called Camelot, and they were a car lot selling camels, and eventually like Jesus, and they have to sell a camel to Jesus and Mary. It was quite amazing.
Wow.
Thank you. Right. I haven't thought about that in years, truly.
And there's also one other thing, and you will encounter this if you haven't already. Some nights a great joke dies a miserable death on stage, and other nights that joke absolutely kills. And then some nights a joke that you don't think is really much of anything is killing. And you're like, usually this is just a bit of fluff. It can be difficult, perhaps, with your algorithmic approach, you might be able to nail that down a little more. But that is a phenomenon that often occurs. And again, and the variable seems to be sort of the tenor of the audience.
It's when your
Yeah.
face twists into a slight gnarl and you go, they laughed at that? Jesus, the hell?
Sam, I got jokes in my act, and mostly at the beginning, 3 or 4 that I have told, I think since I started getting paid 35 years ago, and I don't understand why the audience thinks they're so funny, but I can't take them out of the act because they just get the show rolling. It's not my favorite material. It's the stuff I like to do is always in the middle.
Anybody who has a joke that is guaranteed to get laughs and says, "Well, I decided that should be beaten to death."
Because if
Okay.
it's, and that's the other thing too about, like, you know, and I haven't done enough television. And when I did television, I pretty much wasted material. I did my hacky stuff on television. Everybody thought I was a hack because I didn't want to have everybody see my jokes, you know, on television. And then those are ones I could go, all right, I don't need those anymore. I've done them on television. Everybody knows them. So
Everything I did on television was being, you know, like the co-host of a news program on Fox News, or Fox News and CNBC. That was my other life.
I was on To Catch a Predator
I was a radio
once.
talk show host for 15 years, so I did that as well.
what was that, Jason?
I said I was on To Catch a Predator once.
Yeah, I don't think that's a credit.
Yeah, but
You had a chance.
Yeah, but you were running the camera.
Oh, well.
Well, he was running the camera before the police got there.
That's right.
Hey, I'm the guy.
Sir, you want to put the lollipop down now?
Okay.
Oh dear. Okay.
Cameron, how do you use your thing to? You said you'd be able to figure out different clubs and what material to work in those clubs. Is that also in the algorithm you have?
Yeah. So just like as it's as you talked about how analytically, I guess, a joke might die if you only tell it one time and you only go off that basing. So you really got to use the scientific method and repeat it all at least 3 times, you know, and every single time, make sure that it's a different room. And that way, you know, right, this was my hardest joke in the room. That's non-negotiable. That's what the audio shows. But in this room, it did fall flat. That's not a bad joke then. It's something else happened, you know, and you can use those other factors. And a lot of times maybe it's just, well, you know, this is Ferndale, this is Ann Arbor, this one is Wyandotte. Like it's different people and it's different methods and different types of things to do. So it helps me kind of gauge that, just because I can see, even especially when you break it down, not just to good or bad, but it was 4 stars here and 3 stars here, you know, and really give you that
There's another
scale.
measuring stick as well. For example, Augusta, Georgia, never. Okay. You will never get laughed, just never.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a club owner, I can't remember his name, Aubrey something, and he ran a club in Augusta and another place in Atlanta, just outside Atlanta. And I called him for work. And he said to me, "Sam, have you ever heard of a comedian named Captain Rowdy?" And I said, "No, I haven't." He said, "Sam, he's the filthiest comic I've ever seen in my life. He is so dirty that I will not let my mother come to the show. But that son of a bitch fills the seats, Sam. Fills the seats. Now, could you do an act like his?" I went, "No." No. He said, "Well, I appreciate your honesty." I said, and back at you. Because if I went on stage and that's what they were waiting for, the next thing you would hear is, "Comic murdered, film at 11.
Well, I remember playing in the South at the same times that you were, Sam, and the ones that they liked the best were the ones that would always get the audience to drink a toast.
Yes.
You know, your James Gregory.
James Gregory.
Yeah. In other words, all right, everybody ready, bring up your glass, and then you'd ask the club owners, who's your best? And they go, James Gregory. We go, why? I go, we never sell more drinks than when James is on
That's
stage.
right. He was a very, very smart comic.
He's still around. I saw a clip.
Yes, he is.
He's got to be 80 years old, but he's still doing it.
The 2 times I worked with him, he was very nice to me. But the second time I worked with him, I said, you know something? He told me he's an early riser. I'm an early riser. Oh, let's see if he wants breakfast. So I knock on his door, and a guy who had to be, I don't know, 9, answered the door. And he goes, I'm sorry, but Mr. Gregory is preoccupied.
No.
And I said, okay, well, just tell James Sam Greenfield said goodbye and wish him the best. He goes, I surely will. I went, oh, my God, James. James, you were all...
Oh, dear.
I went on the road. You pursued an education, James. Oh, man. Do you like your life? Have you found release? Well, yes.
Well, at any rate, what did you do? Are you working on a specific set of material, or are you just sort of taking some of the stuff from your notebook?
She's in it 6 weeks. She's in it 6 weeks, Jason.
I understand that, but we don't.
What I've really been doing is also still figuring out
a lab experiment. Sorry.
Leave her alone. She's just a kid. God damn it.
I apologize.
I haven't put any effort towards transitions. I feel like there's so many new things to do and so many ways to work it, and I'm still trying something new every single time. So as you guys kind of saw, one joke ends, the next one just starts, and that's a method. It's not like it's completely terrible, but eventually once I get a good set of jokes and do all that, then I can kind of start working on those in betweens, and I feel like and fill those, hopefully with laughs. But where I'm at right now, I feel like I'm so new that's not even. I'm just still focusing on getting the jokes first and getting those established before making it really all flow and piece together towards a larger.
Again, your presence and your competence on stage is palpable, and the reason why I point this out is because that gives you an edge over some of the people who are newer and who are starting or who are Joe the Animal.
He's not even here.
I know. This is what we do. We go at him ruthlessly.
If your sentence had ended with, I haven't put any real effort in, you and I could have been the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
really, those two pages you put up on the screen there, literally, that is more than Sam has written on his act. Ever.
Right.
Next week, I'll be.
And there are people who hate me for that.
I'll be doing my show at the Joe the Animal Bouncy House. So
I'm serious. They go, do you know how much time I spend, writing material, and you just come up there with your bullshit? And I go,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Am I supposed to feel bad now? Answer, no.
Hey, Mark, we're getting a little clipping, and I'm wondering if it's maybe a bandwidth issue. If you need to bring me down, that would be fine. Just so we have a better audio.
Wasn't that ELO?
ELO.
Don't bring me
going
down.
now, yeah.
All right, now I can see.
So
Jason,
could you do?
Hold on, Andy. I got to ask Jason some yes and no questions because I can see him but can't hear him. So, does it sound better now, Jason? Oh, did he just flip me off? I guess
I think so.
Anyway. Yeah. Okay, you guys can't see this, so I'm just going to move on here. I did want to get to. We still have 23. We still have 22 minutes left, and I wanted to get to our agenda because we did it last week, and I felt very proud of ourselves for going through that. But so try to keep it funny if you can. But let's go through the items on the poem. The Haiti Prime Minister has now stepped down. The gangs and the mobs in Haiti said their demands were that he would step down. He stepped down, but the gangs aren't.
There's not a lot of knee slapping comedy coming out of Haiti right now. So
yeah.
I've been to Haiti.
Ooh, wow.
I got to go to Haiti, right? You guys, I was the white savior. You guys can thank me for solving racism after the show. We don't have to do that now, but I went down there for 2 weeks on the mission trips, and I did all that.
Get there.
Yeah,
wow.
We did.
Wow, that's amazing.
The most screwed over nation in the history of the world.
Yeah, no, it was at one point when we did go into the city, somebody robbed some, we don't even know what happened, but there was literally just a mob carrying the unconscious person to the police because that's the only way, you know, the police won't come to you. You have to pay private ambulances, you have to pay private security if you want anything. They just won't answer calls, they just won't be there the days later, you know, if they ever show up and things like that. So it's been like that, and that was years ago.
Right, that's a mark in your favor as becoming a regular on this show. See, if you've got a lot of experiences. How long ago were you in Haiti?
I was only there for 2 weeks, and like I said, I went to an orphanage as a part of a church, and we were supposed to be like doing BBS with them, or Vacation Bible School, VBS. Sorry, BBS might be something completely terribly.
What church are you a member?
None anymore, but that was Metro South, based out of Taylor at the time. They closed down a campus because they did like the gay conversion camps and got a lot of flack for it.
Oh, wow.
That was crazy. But I went down there. I was, I think, 15 years old at the time. A group of almost all women except for one man who was married to a woman on it, and everybody else was like above 18 years old. So I was the only kid. So I was the only kid playing also like with the kids. I was getting up and playing basketball with them. I had to, you know, you climb the tree and you can shimmy onto the roof, and I'm on the roof and we're playing all sorts of things. They knew the Bible frontwards in English and Creole like better than I ever could. So the whole VBS thing, it's like great. The pastor ran the orphanage, so they already knew the Bible. They didn't need that. They wanted us to come here and do it. I left one of them a very special gift. We had to keep our mattresses out of the courtyard at night with the mosquito nets and all that because you just need space. So if you want to sit down anywhere, like you have to go into the orphan quarters and lay down in their bed. And me and the kids just got done crying because I'm about to leave in a day and we're gonna miss each other and everything else. And I lay down, you know, really tired, and I lean over and I say, "This is something to remember me by." And they kind of blow me off saying Fufu Blanca because that just means crazy white in English, and that's what they called me. But they just kind of wave me off because they don't even understand what I'm saying. We have to have a translator, and I just fart in this orphan's bed for like you would if you've been eating nothing but rice and beans for 2 weeks straight, which was what we've been doing. And the kid ran out just so terrified and brought back in the translator, who walked in just bellowing, laughing, being like, "Did you just shit in this orphan's bed?"
And the laughs just keep on coming.
That's what I love about church. I'm echoing on somebody's.
No,
not me.
Not me.
Oh, it is me.
I don't. Me. You guys aren't. I don't hear you guys echoing at all. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think it's Sam.
Okay.
Yes.
But.
How did that happen? We did 42 minutes before the echo, and then this.
I know.
It's God's will.
So, Sam, are you getting an echo?
Yeah. As soon as Cameron's telling the church stories, then we have.
Well, right. Could you do me a favor, Cameron? Could you tell the last part of the church story in that in the impression you did last night?
So the translator walks in and goes, "Did you just shit in this orphan's bed?"
Oh, that's so funny. That is so funny.
That's so great. That's great.
Now you probably know people down there that are trying to get out, right? Because a lot of those.
Yeah. So I kept in contact with the translators. The church kept in contact with the orphanage, but that was.
She's echoing too.
She's what?
Uh-oh.
Oh. I was like,
she's not. I don't hear. None of you guys are echoing in my thing. So
no, I just muted Sam, so it's not him. Let me put Sam. I'm putting Sam back on. Hold on. Sam is going back on. All right, now I'm gonna mute. Now I'm gonna mute Andy.
Hello.
Hold on, we're fine. Hold on. We're doing this we're doing this live, and now I'm speaking. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
It's Andy. Andy, it's your machine.
Bummer.
Because when I mute Andy, let me bring it back on. Let's see if we get the echo. Here we go. Ready? Do we get the echo now?
Now.
There it is.
All right, I'm gonna say goodbye, folks.
The power
does
not compel you.
Why don't I just take you off and see if you can fix it?
Oh, for me?
Yeah. I tell you what.
You're echoing too, Mark.
I know I'm echoing, but when I turn off Andy's sound, nobody echoes. It's It's his sound. What I don't know is how we are able to go through 42 minutes without him echoing.
It's
And then all
God's
the-
will.
Oh, is that what it is?
The mystery.
Well, interestingly enough, as soon as Cameron starts talking about missions, that's when we have the problem. I'm not
That
saying.
was it.
I never heard of that church. I'm pretty familiar with the church. Have you? You got to see. Have you read Tim Alberta's book?
Tim Alberta. No,
Do you know who Tim Alberta is?
I do not.
Well, it makes it easier to say no.
Yeah, he's a journalist for the Atlantic, but he grew up at Cornerstone Presbyterian out in Brighton,
Okay.
and was one of those large super evangelical churches. And he wrote a book about how the secular right has taken over the Christian right in the country. So
Darn.
anyway, I'm in a book. I'm in a book club that reads a lot of books about
Theology dysfunction.
theology dysfunction. So, oh, Andy's coming back in. Let me see if we can get him on here. All right, here we go. Let me see what this sounds like. Here's Andy again. How do you sound now, buddy?
Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
much better. Now,
Okay.
What did you do differently?
I just went off and came back on.
All right, I'm done. I don't have an echo.
I know. It was Andy's phone. We figured that out, but I just
Damn
don't know
Andy.
how we started with him. We do the whole show for 42 minutes, and then at 42 minutes, it starts to echo, and all he does is turn it off and turn it back on, and now it's not echoing anymore.
Got it.
That's,
It must be-
that's
it's a
why
simple
I
thing.
am. That's why I am host and unqualified tech advisor. That's my title. So anyway, Chuck Schumer calls for new elections in Israel. Anybody?
You know, there's a real big, it's amazing. I'm speaking now as a Jew. There's a real stupidity about people in this country who are Jewish and their allegiance to Israel. When I tell them, Trump broke bread with a neo-Nazi, right? Why
Right.
doesn't that bother you? And he goes, because he moved the embassy to Jerusalem. I go, really? That's why? So the guy said he wanted to pee on the Talmud, and that's okay. But he got a U-Haul to cart some Torahs over to Jerusalem, and that works for you. And she goes, well, it's better than Obama. I said, because he's black? And she goes, I didn't say that. I go, well, yeah, you did. Yeah, you kind of did. Because there's no other reason to dislike Obama. There's just not. And there's so many reasons to dislike Trump. Well, and this one woman said to me, you're just jealous. I said, you're right. If only I could weigh 300 pounds. That's my dream.
For the first time today, I did some looking up on Benjamin Netanyahu.
Say again?
I said for the first time, I actually did some deep dive into Benjamin Netanyahu. By deep dive, I mean Googled his name and went through a bunch
He's
of the
quite the
articles.
crook.
He's
quite the crook.
His mother was born and raised in Jerusalem. His father was help me with the pronunciation, Sam. An Ashkenazi Jew. Ashkenazi Jew from Poland, who also had roots in Spain.
Yes.
And so, I heard him speak today on some clips. I don't know if it was CNN or another news channel, but I don't care how he says it. He can't hide the fact that he doesn't like Arabs or Palestinians.
Well, no, listen, Ashkenazi Jews are Jews that are not, I'm being very general here, but Ashkenazi Jews are Jews that are not germane to Central Europe. Okay. They're Spanish, they're Moroccan, and any country, like that. Okay. Morocco.
So if he was from Poland, he came from somewhere else.
No, if he was Poland, he wouldn't be. There's a good chance he's not an Ashkenazi Jew.
Yeah, because Poland and Russia and that whole Eastern,
right, Russia, Germany.
Yeah. Germany. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so to me, it didn't help this. It didn't help me feel any better about him. I still think he's a fascist.
Well, no. This is a guy who's denying people in Gaza food. He's stopping the trucks. Children are starving. He's a piece of shit. I mean, he's just,
And
I think next week
he's
we
been
should
out
do
again.
topics like Willy Wonka.
This is his third term. This is his third term, and not consecutively. His third separate term.
That's right.
Of being prime minister. So.
Oh, and you forgot to mention, or maybe you did. His brother, Daniel, was a war hero who was killed during the raid on Entebbe.
Oh wow. Oh.
Anyway,
Daniel Netanyahu. And then there was his brother. He had an uncle in the Wild West, Cowboy Netanyahu. So he was.
All right, next on the Big Bang list. Oh, Putin won his election. Anybody surprised there? Anybody call that?
No. I think that's what Trump wants to do.
I only heard he got 98% of the vote, so it was really nip and tuck.
Yeah, nip and tuck. Yeah.
I saw a great sign though. It said, it wasn't in Russian, it was in English, so I'm not sure where it was, but it said, "I stand with Putin, just not close to the window."
Oh, that's funny. That's very funny.
Wow.
Putin has this look on his face that you think that when he's making a speech, he goes, "Yeah, I killed people, and that's just the way it is. That's what I do."
Yeah. You haven't, you guys haven't seen my curriculum vitae?
Exactly.
Hey, where's Jason? He'd be in on this.
No, let's see if we can get him back out here. I'm sorry, Jason. We got you in. Went to the news stories without you there. Oh, here's one specifically for Jason.
Yes, sir.
Airbnb has banned all indoor cameras. Your Airbnb can have outdoor cameras for security, but no more indoor cameras.
Jason, start your engines.
My Airbnb has cameras all over the place.
Yeah, I know it does.
Cameras behind mirrors, little peepholes in the ceiling. Don't worry about a thing. We're keeping an eye on everything. I can assure you of that.
The Ohio tornado. Ohio, Kentucky tornado. I only know this because we're planning a trip there in April, but it's the same path as the eclipse that's going to go through there. And, and my joke was, that's great because now they've cleared a path out for us.
Don't worry, the new trailers will be in place soon. Don't worry, the trailer parks, the meth labs.
Anybody see the videos of the volcano in Iceland?
Stunning.
Isn't that stunning?
Wow.
You know what's amazing to me? I saw a thing in a volcano where almost a round rock of molten lava, okay? And it spewed off the mountain and into the water. It's in the water and it continued to burn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing to me. Right. And I thought, now that's how you boil an egg.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's why you set magnesium on fire.
If you look at the pictures from Iceland, it's a crack in the earth and it's all flowing, and you can see where it's flowing from the aerial views. But you also see the steam that's coming up. That's because all that land is frozen, and what it's doing is the lava is melting the ice, and it's becomes steam and it's just floating off.
There's something interesting about having a volcano in a place called Iceland.
Yeah, it seems appropriate in a place like Italy. You'd expect
Italy's fine. Yeah, that's
exactly. I mean, Krakatoa. What else would you do?
Krakatoa.
Right. Yeah,
Krakatoa, Eastern Java.
Exactly. I mean, sure, it goes off every now and then with a 300 megaton. That happens. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Are we men or are we Devo?
Former Vice President Mike Pence says he is not going to endorse Donald Trump.
He is so picky. Just because the guy wanted you dead.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, did you see on the news tonight? I saw they've uncovered moving pictures, videos of the people bringing in the dark of night before the January 6th. So this would have been the night before, bringing the gallows that they were going to construct.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the most amazing thing is that while they did that, they were singing "Ace is the place for the," that's real.
I think the most amazing thing is that Pence actually thinks that this is going to persuade anybody, that anybody is now not going to vote for Trump after he came out and said this.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't listen. I don't know if you heard me say this earlier.
They were ready to kill you.
Cameron, I don't know if you heard me say this earlier. As long as Trump is white, those people are fine.
Oh,
as long as he stays, they're fine.
This is a nation that elected a black man president twice with handy majorities. Come on.
Really? And,
We did.
I know.
They
but
didn't.
Jason.
They didn't.
This has been this way since probably when Clinton beat Bush, the first Bush, right?
Yeah.
Ever since then, you have R's that vote for R's and D's that vote for D's that are easily up to 40%.
Well, that has always been a reality.
I know, but the thing is now those, and they used to say 40% would vote for each side.
You forget George Corley-Wallace, former Democrat, throwing the election to Richard Nixon in '68, who won the election by 100,000 votes.
I know.
Sorry, Cameron.
I know, but the thing is, you're fighting. Here's what I'm saying is, everybody's going to vote the way they're going to vote for. I haven't voted for a Republican president in my life. I'm 64 years old.
Your arm would explode in flames if God Himself came down with an R in front of His name and you pulled the lever. You'd be down there with Satan going, I just couldn't do it. I mean,
I'm saying if God came down with an R,
with an R in front of His name instead of a D. I mean,
does that stand for Rutgers?
Yeah,
it does. Yeah. Absolutely. That's exactly. Don't tell them anything different, otherwise they get very offended.
Does everybody remember that that Reagan carried 49 states?
Yes.
In what, in 84?
It happens.
Yeah.
80.
Yeah. And what's his name? Mondale didn't even carry his own state that year.
And George McGovern carried one, but he was actually right on the issues more than he was wrong.
That was a very funny joke by Dennis Miller. He said, Walter Mondale only got 3 electoral votes. I didn't even run, and I only got 3 less than him.
I remember when Dennis Miller was funny. Those are the days.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that was his last funny joke.
Yeah.
What
Going off
happened?
the rails.
Does he just have so much money he stopped caring?
Yeah. Well,
okay. It does.
Come on,
because he's rich. The radio show he did made him a lot of money.
Right.
I know what didn't make him a lot of money was that tour with Bill O'Reilly, but except for that, everything he's done has been terrific.
Having to go in and take Bill out of the sex shops where he's trying to arrange 3-ways with $25 hookers.
You're so judgmental.
One would expect that you'd be at least as able to get someone like Kobe Bryant. Oh, hold on, never mind. Bad example. No one remembers Kobe. I'm sorry.
Of course, we remember Kobe.
Yeah,
You're just acting high and mighty because you pay $50.
Well, don't forget Jimmy Swaggart with his taste in concubines.
Did you ever see the interview with the hooker that he was
worse
with?
than that? I saw her photos spread in Penthouse and decided
nothing was funnier than hearing her say, "Well, he wanted me to strip naked while he touched his thing, so I did." And I thought to myself, well, shit, this better be more than $10.
And I was never more embarrassed than my grandmother to think that she did that and got paid. She got paid.
I have sinned against you. That's what he said.
I have sinned.
By the way, you know who his cousin is, right?
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Mickey
And
Gilley
the families always thought that Jerry Lee Lewis would be the minister and that Swaggart would be the rocker.
Well,
because Swaggart has a great voice.
Well, how many of them ended up with dead wives in the swimming pool, though? That was just the one, right?
It was the chlorine.
Yeah, was she at the William Shatner swimming pool? Because that could, I don't know.
All right, we never got the Boeing. And we're out of time, so I'm just.
That's all
right.
But
Boeing did get to us.
The next time you fly, are you going to check to see whether you're flying on an Airbus?
Hey, I'm a pilot. I fly my own Cessna. Fuck that. I don't need a Boeing.
There you go.
I got a real pilot's license.
Well, we've done it. We've just wasted a whole hour of your
life.
Cameron, it's been a pleasure.
It has been, Cameron. Look forward to seeing you next Sunday, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'd like to thank Susan for her poem.
Yes, indeedy.
Always an entertaining way to set up the agenda. We'll be back here next week at 8 o'clock. Oh, no. Next week is our show at the Ale House.
Closer to the mic, Mark.
Say that again.
We'll do the show Tuesday. We're doing the show Tuesday next week.
Why?
Because I got a show. It's not going to be
That's why?
Night.
Yeah.
Are you emceeing the show?
It's not going to be an off night. So anyway,
next Monday I was supposed to be having jury duty, but I got out of it.
oh, good for you.
Oh.
Good for you.
Tuesday next week.
Okay. Anyway, so hey, next week will be Tuesday. Cameron, stick around. We always do a little post-production meeting after the show. Everybody else, we'll see you again here next week.
All
Good night.
right.
See ya.
Ciao, y'all.